I'm honoured and delighted to second the Community Participation Bill, and I would like to congratulate my colleague Senator John for his work with others in bringing this most important bill to us. This bill is to facilitate and enable people with disabilities to participate fully in their communities, to do ordinary things in ordinary places, to go to the toilet, to get changed in dignity, to play, to travel, things that we take for granted, things that would make good on the promise of Ireland's ratification of the UN CPDR for citizens with a disability. And all his life, John has pushed the boundaries and the confines of what people would deem to be good enough for people with disabilities. As a child, John contracted polio and recalls wearing an ugly caliper and a special boot on his leg, being referred to as the boy with the limp. And as a young person, he didn't allow his physical disability to stop him from climbing Galtymore Mountain or from running the local youth club. He never accepted less than full citizenship, full participation for himself, and he's never accepted less for people with disabilities either. No limits, no barriers that can't be broken down or broken through. So this bill is like John. It is both high-minded and practical, born of lived experience. It's about very basic things: a changing room for people who need it, properly kitted out with hoists so people can have the dignity of cleanliness as they go about their shopping, their visit to the hospital, or whatever the hell they want to do. Shockingly, yesterday we heard that we've only 11 changing rooms nationally, not even in hospitals where children with disabilities and life-limiting conditions spend so much of their lives. This bill proposes that all new bills have a changing room, and it was great to hear the list that you mentioned, but we really do need to catch up. This bill is about children being able to play together. In the 1990s London, I was lucky enough to be a trustee of the Markfield Project, an integrated play project for people with disabilities, their siblings, neighbours and friends, so that all those children and my children could play together. The Equal Play playground was down the road. If we can do it in 1990s London, we can do it today. Closer to home, we have the South Beach playground that Lynn's mother spoke about so movingly yesterday, and the sheer joy of her two daughters, Ellie and Daisy, being able to play together side by side for the first time in a public space. What that meant to both of them. Playing together, children with disabilities, not isolated, not segregated, not othered, with all the horrific consequences that we saw of that John alluded to in the Holocaust. I can speak with great authority about private buses. I travel by air coach to Dublin every week. These private buses are not accessible, as I learned at first hand when I had a protracted calf strain, not even a wheelchair user. So I think it is right. People are prisoners in their own home without that. Finally, the bill addresses advocacy, ensuring personal advocates supporting people with disabilities. This was provided for in the Citizens Information Act 2007, and 10 years later it was also part and parcel of my adult safeguarding bill, and yet we still don't have it. This bill is about making that a reality. Everyone and every political party agrees that access to independent advocacy is right, and yet we don't have it. So let's bring it on. I am delighted to second this bill. With John's leadership, we truly shall overcome. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Senator Kelleher. Senator Wang.